Hello, my name is Tim. I'm 50 years old and I live in Michigan. And I just recently been through, had a life-changing event in my life. I received two new lungs, had a double lung transplant back April 23rd of 2024. And life has just been incredible. I feel like I'm just overflowing with good stuff I want to share with everybody. Just to be so bad off health-wise, to be able to do just about anything. So I just want to share my story. Probably do little clips at a time in the future here. But yeah, I started having lung troubles when I was in my early 20s. In 2009, I was evaluated for double lung transplant and got approved at University of Michigan. Of course, you got to go. There's a lot of steps and processes and people you have to meet with. And when I met with the surgeon, even being at 29%, he didn't think, because he asked me if I could bathe myself, do dishes, and do laundry. And being I said I could do those things, he didn't think the timing was right, which is very important when it comes to transplant because, I guess the statistics show pretty like 50% of people make it 5, 6 years after double lung transplant. And that was something hard that I had to get over with. Kind of a struggle I had, just thinking that after transplant, my life, the clock was going to be ticking and I was just going to get a short period of time. So I got out of my work environment and because I had dropped pretty drastically over the course of a month or two, bringing me down to below 29%. So I felt it was more important to spend time around my family and getting every minute I can in with them. And so my lungs cleared up some inflammation and I came up in the 40% range. And I did good I put off transplant for about, I think it was about 14 years. And then things got bad again. I dodged COVID for at least a year or two. And then I got my first case of COVID. I was in the hospital just for 5 days. I made it through that, which was a blessing. And then I did good for a stretch of time, and I was off and on oxygen, maybe a couple liters here and there, 2 to 4 liters. But then here, back in 2003, I was in the hospital 3 times within a month's period of time, and I was in there for a week with double pneumonia, and I came home, and my insurance company, they wanted to make sure I had good nutrition, so they had this program called Mom's Meals. They wanted to offer up to me, so it was basically like a month's worth of meals for free. Well, through my insurance, but yeah, so they would send out 2 weeks at a time, and I let the lady know what a blessing it was to our family because we were looking to have transplant in the future, and we were trying to be smart with our money. And it's I think it really made her feel good being on the giving end. Not that it was necessarily coming out of her pocket, but I think she really felt like it was a good family I was going to, good use. And then in return, this is one of my stories I like to share with people. And I feel like my life is full of these kind of stories where it's just God kind of give me comfort and peace and reinsurance and things. And so in return, she was able to share that she had a brother that was like a couple years younger than I, had a double lung transplant, and he made it 8 very good years. Had a really good life after his transplant. Fortunately, he did pass away, but he died from a heart attack. So I needed to hear that. It's like I can't stress out and be worried about my lungs failing me when any one of us can go out and have an accident or have a heart attack or die some other way. So I kind of got over that. And to be honest with you guys, I'm more fearful now of even doing this. This is my first time doing a YouTube video, and I'm so scared about this. I'm more scared about doing this video than I was when I got my call to come down to University of Michigan to have when they had lungs available for me and to come down and have transplant. So that's the really part that's amazing. You would think that, or I would think that I should have been so fearful when I got that call to go down to the hospital for transplant. But to be honest with you, it was like my family, my kids, and my wife and I. It was like we were loading up in the van to go on a trip to Disney World, and not not a second. Never did I have a sense of fear or anything. And I went in through that procedure, and it was a 12-hour surgery. I was in the hospital for 38 days, and that was just a little over a year ago now. And it's just incredible the things I've been able to do. You know, over a year ago, I was on up to 8 liters of oxygen, which wasn't terribly a lot, but for me it was. I was used to only maybe 2 to 4 liters of oxygen, but just the struggle to tie my shoes. And here, like a month ago, our dog food was on sale. We got these two old English bulldogs. One's like 120 pounds, that one's 90 pounds. So we go through a lot of food. And that dog food was on sale, 12 bucks off a bag. So I bought 2 bags. They were like 35, 40 pounds a piece. When I got home, I put both of them bags of dog food up on my shoulder, and I walked right up the steps around the back of the side of the house, and no problems. So recently, I've been having this passion for a long time with my lungs. When my lungs are bad, I struggle with motivation. Um, I did have a passion for buying stuff with intentions of reselling it, but it was kind of piling up around the house and cluttering up the house, and it was kind of a sickness that I had because I just had this addiction to buying stuff, but I didn't have the motivation to list it. So here, I just finally got motivation. I've been watching a lot of resellers. Well, not a lot, but there's one in particular, Wolfman Goodies on YouTube, and he has an eBay store. Him and his wife both, hers is Melissa's Thrifty Barn, and his is Wolfman Goodies. So he does a YouTube video every day, and then he does live on Sunday, and he's just really inspired me, and just a really good-hearted guy and everything. And in fact, today, in honor of him, my first YouTube video, I'm wearing his shirt that he gave me. I recently I hired somebody to create a logo for my Tim's Thrifted Treasures, so I can get shirts and business cards made up. So here's my shirt that I have. I sent one to Chad, and he wore it on his recent episode of his YouTube channel. So, but anyways, I put myself out there on Facebook and Instagram, and I just let everybody know that I was taking things to the next level with my reselling, and I got these business cards coming, and I'm gonna do YouTube videos. And I was heading over to the river steelhead fishing one morning here last month, and I started getting really nervous. I was like, man, I kind of put myself out there, and now I got to follow through with it. So, but I went fishing, and fishing wasn't that great. And I was like, there's a Goodwill just 20 minutes away from here. So I cut my fishing short, and I went to Goodwill, and I found some good items there. One of them was a game called Sharpshooters, and it was a dice game from 1994, brand new sealed. So I bought it, and I come home. I paid $6, which was a little bit high for a game at Goodwill, but I paid $6 because it was showing that they were selling pretty good. Came home, I listed it, and it sold within 20 minutes, and so I think I got $35 plus shipping on it, so I did pretty good. I accepted an offer. And occasionally, in the past, I like to kind of, you might want to call it nosy, but I'm interested to see who I'm selling to, who's buying from me. And so I looked up, there wasn't an individual name on the shipping address, but there was a company name, and I Googled it, and it took me to a Facebook page. And this is one of those stories that just God kind of like that lady at the hospital, the mom's meals deal. Just God giving me reinsurance, just giving me the go ahead that this is right and the thing to do and follow through with it. So this Facebook page was just nothing but one post after another of positive things. So the first one that I saved was on there: the key to success is playing the hand you were dealt like it was the hand you wanted. The second one I saved was how to stay motivated. Take it one day at a time. Surround yourself with positivity. Create a vision board. Make smart goals. Reward yourself. Believe in yourself. Recognize your progress. Visualize accomplishing your goals. Be kind to yourself. And don't compare yourself to others. Another thing I saved was 10 things to give up. Excuses, self-doubt, fear of failure, procrastination, people-pleasing, fear of success, negative thinking, negative self-talks, judgment of others, and negative people in your circle. So that was pretty awesome. And I know I think these videos will get easier as I go, but I know there's a lot of friends and family across the United States that I don't get to see. They don't get to see or hear my voice, or maybe people that I grew up with or something, and I just have a lot of good stuff, I feel, and I want to share it with everybody. So look out for some more videos to come in the future, and just hopefully you'll like and subscribe, and hopefully you like this video, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.